So moving on, we got our last little. It's a discussion topic. So me explaining what's going to go on. It's not that. I think my discussion is really on what the last person or the discussion I had in between with the person that had the discussion on Twitter, the way he went about it. Not what was going on with the actual subjects in a way, or the reason why we started this conversation. Mm-hmm. So basically, Chloe Dystra, an actress / YouTuber / gamer, came out on Medium about her and her past relationship with her ex-boyfriend, which is Chris Hardwick. Well, I mean, she didn't specifically.
She didn't give any names.
Yeah, but the one giveaway was like the age difference.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about like he was like a podcaster turned like CEO.
Exactly. Yeah. And her just experience through that relationship and how horrible it was and how she was treated, and then saying having references and stuff, having like people that she's had and had been there for these kind of instances and stuff, and then Chris, I think it was like 17 hours later, responded on an art with another news site called Deadline, and saying basically, not saying everything was true, but there was some weird like I forgot what he said exactly. Like he basically said that like yes, we had tough times and whatnot, but he's accusing all the accusations like what's the word I want to use.
He denied that there was like a sexual assault.
Yeah, there was no sexual assault. And I think what goes to the next part of the conversation is like the retweet of what we're going to talk about is okay. So before we even talk about the retweet, we're not trying to do this for like clickbait or like trying to promote our channel to be have more viewers or not something like that. It's just like how what's going to go on, like not bring awareness, but more than bring awareness, start a conversation and be willing to hear the other side before we come to a conclusion, regardless if you know the person or you have an actual relationship with the person and you feel like you know the person. So I retweeted, or I saw a tweet from Jimmy Wong, who's another actor / YouTuber. I followed him. Like I'm somewhat of a Jimmy Wong fan, but I've not seen like recent work. But I followed him through VHS, which is Video Game High School. I don't know if no one knows that. But he retweeted like a picture of like 4 different tweets from 4 different like I don't know what you would want to call them, just people on the internet.
Like
one
generic
of them,
people.
Yeah, one of them was Jordan Peterson, and a lot of them was saying just like not negative, but like just saying like this is another woman complaining about something or being another victim. Jordan Peterson said, I won't quote it directly, but he basically said like, are we gonna really hold this guy accountable without any evidence yet? And that's what I felt like. I mean, well, first off, the reason why I tweeted back at him was saying that unfortunately, yeah, it sucks for that these people would tweet this out, right? It sucks. But also saying like, this is their First Amendment right. I accidentally tweeted Second Amendment. I don't know why I was doing that. I was eating, so I guess. But I sent that back that I had a typo or I missed.
So you meant the First Amendment.
Yeah, I meant the First Amendment. And saying like, it sucks, but I think it'd be better instead of retweeting this to, go to the source, go talk to these guys. Why are they tweeting this out? What kind of conversation can you have to change the narrative in a way, but also bring more awareness? Because I think just retweeting that isn't going to do anything. I know you want to bring awareness, you want to not have to do the dirty work, I guess. And I'm not saying dirty work as in like make the other side look bad. I'm just saying do the dirty work and just having a conversation, having to listen to someone else's side. And then he retweeted back at me, I obviously messed up on the Second Amendment thing, and he said like you might want to get your amendments right, but it's also like I'm trying to bring awareness to the situation. I understand that, yeah, I agree with you. But I'm saying that's the way you're going about it. Go to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is a pretty reasonable guy. I don't see,
contrary to what you might hear from multiple movies.
I don't. From what I've heard, like he's really intelligent. Sometimes when I will listen to anything he's on the podcast with, I have to listen to it twice. Yeah. You're reading 12 Steps.
Yeah.
And I don't think like he would be someone that you would like want to just be nasty with in a way. And it's not like I'm saying Jimmy's being nasty with them at all or like misrepresenting them, like totally. But I think my discussion part or what I want to talk about is like, not am I doing something wrong, but me saying like you should have a deeper conversation with the person. Like, should we be doing that before we start retweeting and start just saying stuff and not just reacting and not reacting with an actual action? So like, what I'm saying is like, what do you think then?
Well, I think I see where you're coming from. I think that, I guess what I kind of feel like you're looking for is like the smoking gun. Like you wanted her. She talked about like having evidence of like what happened, and like you want to see because basically, despite her entire article, it is still like a he said she said, and I think more of like where Jordan Peterson is coming from in his response is that like everyone, and perhaps like if you sided, especially recently, if you sided with the woman, you would be right probably 90% of the time. Like, and it would turn out that like she was in the right. But the risk that you run is basically all of these people are like being tried and convicted in the court of public opinion immediately without any evidence being presented, which is what Jordan Peterson was getting at, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so like I would have liked to have seen maybe as well like you've come this far, like you're in putting it. She was talking about, and rightly so, like how she was afraid for her career and like her social life or whatever, like coming out with this. But like, well, like once you get to that point and like she puts that article out, like there is no further harm that can be done by giving just like a little evidence to support what you're saying. And I'm not saying that like she's lying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like make it definitive. Like if you really want stuff like this to end, you have to be able to show, like you need to just show like burn the guy down, burn him at the stake.
Yeah,
with
like,
your evidence.
Like I was talking about, like the doctor, he was in the room. Let's hear him. Let's hear her mother. Unless for some personal reason she doesn't want to. The hairdresser, like I was saying.
Yeah.
If there's any other like people that were involved that she was personally messaging about this, I want to hear it from them as well. But I also want to hear like personally what Chris Hardwick and then the people around him. Is there anyone around him that can not defend him, but show that in the scenario where I'm not saying she's lying or like that, but if there was a scenario where he's innocent and like because he's already got pulled off of he's suspended off Talking Dead, which is like his biggest like success. He's
right.
Had.
Yeah.
And then he got pulled off of Nerdist's like history stuff.
But I think Nerdist came out and said that like he's already not been associated with them for a couple of years.
Yeah, but they pulled him off like the archives basically.
Right. Yeah.
And then I don't know about The Wall because he hosts another show. I've not seen what they've said about that yet. But like if that goes out like in any scenario where this happens and the guy's not guilty, this is like you're ruining the guy's career in a way. But I'm not saying like what I'm saying is she's not lying or anything like that. We don't know yet. But I'm saying like I think, like you said, it should be definitive. I think she should have maybe thought it out a little bit better.
I think that
this is that smidge more. But my gripe is that I get that this is a very strong, like it's very tough for someone to come out like this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And one thing, like you said, to be more definitive, I think one thing she should have said is like, from what I read, I didn't see anything where she's like, I think she was very positive at the end, but like there's nothing definitive where she said it like, if this is going on with you, like don't do what I did and get out of it or get help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
end it there.
I think this is where maybe you and I disagree a little bit. I think I took a little bit more of that from what she said as like as a warning for like other people that might be in that situation. I really liked like one of the quotes that she had in there was that like when you're wearing I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly what it said, but like when you're wearing rose tinted glasses, like red flags just look like flags.
Yeah.
And I think that, and you were saying like having other people that were involved in the relationship, like you want to hear from them and like what they say about what was going on. I think that in this particular case, that might be difficult because she spoke so much about how like he was a completely different person when they were in public, but like when they were in private, like was when she claims that like he was a monster and like abusive and like hyper controlling and all these things. So but like she definitely maybe could have been a little bit more clear. Like I said, I kind of got that message from her of like look out for these things, and like, you know, she talked a lot about how she became isolated with her friends, so it would definitely be like don't allow someone to drive that wedge between like you and like
the people,
the friends and family that you had like prior to them. So like maybe she could have done a little bit better job of conveying that, but I really liked what, short of like her providing actual evidence, because I think that like I don't know if there's going to be any like criminal proceedings in this. It didn't sound that way.
It's only like 3 years away, but I don't think there is.
But it sounds like if this was in a courtroom, it sounds like it would just be a he said, she said. I can't even say that. He said, she said kind of scenario, because like there is no evidence on either side besides like she says this is what happened, he said this is what happened, and like there's nothing to corroborate that. So like I would like to see that, like you said, but it seems like in this particular case it was so private
that we're not going to.
I think in general that like I said earlier, like the more it's great that people that are like this and people that do treat women this way are being exposed for it, but it's like, as like kind of like bad as it sounds to say, is like you do run the risk if you don't just like cut and dry, like show your evidence and like prove that person did these things. Like if you don't do that, you run the risk of almost like crying wolf. And like that's not what anyone that's watching this wants to see happen. But like you can't just like people are having their careers ruined with no evidence to substantiate. I think I need to do a little bit more research, but there was a senator or like a House representative that was forced to resign because like all of these like things came out, like he had a relationship with like an underage girl, and like all this was like early on in the like Me Too movement or whatever, and like now there's a countersuit going on because like he lost his position and like lost an election basically based on this whole thing, and then later like it came out that like she was lying about it, but like he's already like lost his career. And so like there's things like that probably happens 1 out of every like 100 of these things that comes out, but like you can't have that one, like you need, and like the only thing that you need to fix that scenario is like just provide like one little bit of evidence and like be able to back up your story. You can't just like throw something like this out. That's just the only risk.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like throw out to what even like Jimmy Wong was saying. And he probably knows. I'm pretty sure he knows Chloe, because I'm pretty sure they're all in. Like, I've seen her on Kind of Funny and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's not saying we're like, oh, don't do this. We're just saying like, no, you're going in the right direction. We're just like, we hope it's going into a better direction in a way. And then like I said, if Jamie, I don't know, for some reason, if you're watching this, I didn't even expect you to tweet me back, honestly. Like when I saw that retweet, I was like, you tweeting me back? What the hell? Like I never get like a retweet back from like any kind of celebrity. I think only I had like Trisha Hirschberg retweet me back, and I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Actually, I actually exist in a way, but the only reason why it spawned, like we were having a discussion, because I literally was tweeting him, or we had that one thing conversation, and I mean, hopefully Jimmy, like hopefully you do something a little bit more, maybe. Like I said, have a conversation with one of those guys. That's what I'm hoping. And hopefully everything that happens with Chloe gets better, and hopefully what she says is true. Is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah. And if it is, then hopefully Chris Hardwick gets what he deserves.
Exactly. And that's all it is. That's just a discussion. We have a conclusion to this now. That's it. That's it. And that's the show, man. That's it. We got.